Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. So listen, there are instances, very real instances, wherein you got to understand that the teacher is greater than the priest. The teacher is greater than the priest. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. Your priest is going to tell you that you are a child of Oshun, and they are going to, let's say, in the most advanced case, they're going to initiate you into Oshun. So let's say it takes you 16 days to be fully initiated to Oshun. You come from America, you stay in Nigeria for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you return to America with the icon for Oshun. It was done properly. Let's say, best case scenario, it was done properly. That's what your priest does for you. But your teacher understands that all you have are the icons and the experience of having done the ceremony. But in the same way that you can't buy an encyclopedia and then have all the knowledge of the encyclopedia, or buy a Spanish dictionary and become fluent in Spanish, or buy an operator manual for a car and now know how to um, uh, operate the car and repair the car. Likewise, you cannot go and acquire the tools and the accoutrements of an Orisha and then come back and embody that energy and be able to make use of that energy. It as a teacher, it makes sense. So your teacher is going to take you through a 3 month, 6 month, 9 month, 1 year, 3 year, 4 year process to learn and master certain information and practices associated with a discipline. So if I have a degree in chemistry from UC Berkeley and you have a pot for Ogun, those aren't equivalent. Those are not equivalent. You cannot even compare the two. This goes so far over people's head. Right now, people are losing their minds and they're scrambling to make up all these justifications and these explanations. But I've got to tell you, this is a flaw and a weakness in our thinking. I don't say what I say to disrespect or disregard or discount the significance and the legitimacy of our tradition. I am a 100% devoted, practicing believer, but I've got to be reasonable about helping you get the most of the practice that has given me so much. And this is important because this is what I know about my people, African Americans. You see, we've been conditioned to conflate, or, to confuse, mix up consumption with experience. Meaning, I spend money to get happiness or fulfillment overall. When I spend money, it makes me feel accomplished. That's how we've been conditioned. And if I want to feel sexy, I buy a certain thing. If I want to feel smart, I buy a certain thing. If I want to feel powerful, I buy a certain thing. If I want to feel spiritual, I buy a certain thing. It's easy, it's convenient, and it gives me the illusion that I am experiencing the thing that I bought. The only rule is that I have enough money to pay for the thing that I want. And then I really believe I've got it. But like I said, you can't buy a degree from Stanford. You can't buy a degree from UC Berkeley, right? You got to go through the paces. You got to enroll in this course and the next course and the next course, and you got to score a certain way on your exams. That's the only way that you're going to come away with the degree. This is what you got to grasp and understand. What your goal truly is within this tradition is not to have all the stories and explanations and justifications that you might be coming up with as you listen to this video. All of that is useless when it comes down to what you really and truly need and want, and the thing that is really bringing you into Orisha. It is not going to be fulfilled through all of these words that you're saying in defense of being able to buy your experience or trying to buy your experience. What you really want and what you really need is to go through the steps and take those rigors associated with learning, developing, cultivating, and becoming what you really want, which is whole. You want to be made whole. You want to fulfill and satisfy your identity, because you know intuitively that as you become whole and you develop a really complete sense of identity, then you're going to naturally be able to fulfill your destiny. That's what appeals to you when people talk about Ifa. And Ifa is going to reveal to you your destiny. Ifa is going to give you the do's and the don'ts associated with fulfilling your destiny. That's what you want, but it can't be bought. It can't be acquired. There's no shortcut to it. You got to take the steps, and the steps take time. Otherwise, all you're doing is trying to buy your experience. Can't be done. Cannot be done, right? So I'm urging my people to, quite honestly, take a page out of the book of practice of the Nigerian Christians and the Nigerian Muslims, in the sense that when you look all across Yoruba land, the Nigerian Christians and the Nigerian Muslims can be also practitioners of the tradition. They are keepers of the culture. Good morning. But at the same time, they know how to access Orisha on an as needed basis. They are aware of the fact, for example, that they can attend a Christian school. They can attend an Islamic school, and they can learn history, chemistry, English, mathematics, etc., while also cultivating some kind of a moral and ethic compass and way of life for themselves. They know that they don't have to compromise their access to power and influence in the name of their faith. And some of these people are betrayers of the culture and tradition. Some of them are. And maybe even some of them didn't start off that way, but they get kind of roped into it as a result of practicing Christianity or Islam. But not everybody is. Some people are just pragmatic. Some people just understand that the process of growth and development and accomplishment that they're aspiring to can only be done so through this channel. Right? And so I'm not advocating for Christian schools and Islamic schools. I'm really advocating for Orisha schools. If we truly intend to create real progress for our people and opportunities to develop and accomplish, well, then we've got to make those opportunities available. And we've got to understand the ways in which the teacher is greater than the priest. And we need to bring in teachers and organize teachers to be able to ensure that we're creating the kinds of experiences, not just to be able to teach chemistry and history and mathematics, but to be able to actually teach people about Orisha, to help them develop and cultivate a true understanding and relationship to Orisha in ways that will facilitate their wholeness and their growth. Once we have accepted that the model must shift without compromising the principles of the practice and the tradition, then we're going to start to level the playing field just within our own ranks. Right? Now, this is not a job for the average. This is not a job for the reactionary. This is not a task and a mission for the mediocre. This is exclusively the business of the leaders. And so I'm sending out a call to the leaders. I'm looking for the people who are ready, willing, and able to use their natural gifts and talents to help create a positive influence in the world. If you're one of those people, then I want you to find out how I, Oloye Obafemi Origunwa, and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the highest level possible. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com. Let's start working to help you, bring about the good condition in ways that only you can bring it about for yourself and the people who you're destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.